Hello there, I am Sriya Raghava Josila, a student of grade 7. In this video, I will be introducing to you the Tale of Three Cities. The Tale of Three Cities is about the history, monumental facts, nuts and bolts about the history of three states, Bangalore, Hyderabad and Vishakhapatnam. This is basically like a learning engagement that me and my group members have worked on for an entire month. Our assignment was to basically make a website or a short movie like kind of video on our progress and work we have done in a month. This video will include the knowledge on the history of the three states that we have gained, and also the skills learner profile that we have showcased throughout the learning process. So without further ado, let's get started.
Largest city in northeastern Andhra Pradesh, dry and wet tropical region, moderate temperature, 11 km square, second largest city in East Coast. It is between the coastal region and Eastern Ghats. Vizag was once part of Antarctica. Todlakonda has many water beds and is a Buddhist pilgrimage. There are many things that are found in Todlakonda, a few of which are viharas, chaityas and stupas. Todlakonda was found in 1988 by naval officers. They dug up a hill and in it they found Todlakonda. On a rock near Vizag has been scripted about the War of Kalinga. There is a Buddhist presence in Vizag. In its neighbouring, there are two adjacent hills, Bojjanakonda and Lingalakonda. On Lingalakonda, there is a coin with the impression of Samudragupta, which gives way to two controversies. One is that Samudragupta ruled this area, and second is that this coin was so popular that it was even used in this area. Bojjanakonda is a more interesting hill due to its rock structures. The rock structures that Vizag and its surrounding Buddhists follow Vajrayana Buddhism, British races. There are a number of British races in Vizag, a few of which are in 1958. The British wanted to build a port for serving central provinces. In 1941, a harbour was made. In 1942, a bomb blast by Japanese bombers. In 1953, it was made the naval base. In 1972, the naval dockyard was made. Post-independence, in 1947, Madras province was formed. 1950, Vishakhapatnam and Srikakulam districts were formed. 1953, Andhra was formed. 1956, Andhra Pradesh was formed. 1979, Vizianagaram district was formed. In present day, in Vizag, the major occupations are shipping and fishing has a steel plant.
The part of Asmaka Mahajanapada, which is one of the 16 kingdoms or Mahajanapadas of India, fourth largest city of India with the population of 64 lakhs, situated in the Deccan Plateau, which is made due to the cooling of magma 60 million years ago, and this formed the magnificent boulders which balance on each other in this city. It has a very dry and wet tropical climate, 450 millimeters of rain per average in a year. One of the two places in India where you can see a fossil of dinosaur, one here in this city and another in Kolkata. It is in a magnificent height of 450 meters above the sea level. Due to its height, Rabindranath Tagore himself wrote a poem about the city's highest area. The poem is Setal Kosar. Did you get the city? Come on, it is simple. It is none other than Hyderabad. Hello, I am Lalit Chandra from 7th Dawlagiri, Silver Oaks, Hyderabad, and I am here to tell you all about Hyderabad. Now, I have Hyderabad's history in 6 segments, in which I'll tell you all about it. Number 1, name. Number 2, ruled. Number 3, last 2. Number 4, castles. Number 5, post-independence. And to finish it off, I am having some of Did You Ever Know That? Now, fasten your seat belts. This is me, your pilot, for this journey through Hyderabad's history. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Let's start our journey with segment number 1. Name. Hyderabad. Isn't this name new to you? Or is it silly in any way? And a point to be noted, I'm not wanting to tease Hyderabad's name. Please don't take it seriously. Now back to the topic. If you think it derives from a Muslim name, you are absolutely correct. It is the name of the first Imam, Hyder Ali, the son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad. So we got to know its name has a meaning, then we should even know who ruled this area. Let's head to the next segment, rule. Hyderabad. Hyderabad has been ruled by many kings and empires. Now, I want to start with the Kalyani Chalukyas. The Kalyani Chalukyas, they had the greatest king Hyderabad ever has known, or one of the greatest king Hyderabad has ever known. Now, the greatest king of that empire was Vikramaditya VI. He is also known as Tribhuvana Malla. And once the Kalyani Chalukyas had fought with the Chola kings, and they lost their country, and that's almost the whole Deccan area. Now that was divided into three parts. The Kannada speaking zone went into the hands of Hoysala kings. The Marathi speaking zone went into the territory of Yarwa kingdom. And the Telugu speaking zone, in which Hyderabad was there, it went into the safe hands of Kakatiyas. The unique thing with Kakatiyas is that they were Shudras, but as per Hindu culture, only Kshatriyas can rule kingdoms. They built the magnificent Golconda fort. They were also known for great architecture. The Golconda fort name derives from Gol and Konda, or Golla and Konda. Golla in Telugu means shepherd and Konda means a hill. To elaborate it, there was once a shepherd who went on the hill where the Golconda is present, and he ran into the idol of Shakti. So they named it after that story. So in the siege of Warangal, Kakatiyas lost their entire kingdom to Ulugh Khan, or popularly known as Muhammad bin Tughlaq. This all happened in 1323. In the year 1398, Tughlaq lost to Bahmani Sultanates, so they sent their governor to the place. He should be representing the Bahmani Sultanates, who is none other than the founder of Qutub Shahi dynasty, Quli Qutub ul Mulk. He started Qutub Shahi dynasty in 1508 when Bahmani Sultanate started to disintegrate. So he gave the Deccan area independence. Ul Mulk comes from a warrior clan of Persia named Karakululu. He had a very slow beginning because he waged a war against the Vijayanagara Empire, and the king just completed a war with his wars, which was terrorizing him with victory, and he was ready to fight another war easily. Ul Mulk was assassinated by his own son Jamshid Quli Qutub Shah near the Golconda fort. So his sixth son Ibrahim Quli Qutub Shah went to Vijayanagara, and he got a hook of Telugu, as Vijayanagara's court language was Telugu, and he started calling himself Abhiramulu. He married a Telugu woman named Bhagirathi and did Hindu practices, which was totally shocking because even though he is a Muslim, he is part of the Shia sect, and that's the most twisting part in this story. He made the incomplete Mecca Masjid in Hyderabad, the first bridge over River Musi, and the Hussain Sagar, which was a water source for the people and was used for a long time. The bridge he made has its own story. Ibrahim Kuli Qutub Shah's son had to swim across to meet his XOXO, who is Bhagmati. Now, this is a story which you may be hearing in the locality of Hyderabad when you ask the history of the bridge. Now, back to the top. Now, the Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah made Charminar in 1591. So then Mughals invaded Deccan, and their Suba, or the governor in modern day terms, was Komar Khan, the first Nizam. In 1742, he made Deccan independent and started his rules. Few notes about Nizams. Nizams don't know how to rule, and they held the court like Mughals, not Mughals, and they were loyal to the British a lot. Their court language was Persian and their street language was Urdu. Ali Khan, one of the Nizams, gave coastal Andhra Pradesh and Rayalaseema to British, and he was left with present-day Telangana, and from then the Telangana motion began. Now, I have completed the second segment, and now it's time for the third segment, last. What could the segment be? Last two, it can be anything. Last two places some person went, or like that. Last two names the Hyderabad had. But in this segment, I'm not going to tell the last two names of Hyderabad or last two kings of Hyderabad. But yes, I'm going to say something the last two Nizams, Mahbub Ali Khan and Usman Ali Khan, built. So they built the Kachiguda railway station, Assembly Hall of Telangana state on Mahbub Ali Khan's 44th birthday, and a big hall now serving as the Legislative Council of Telangana was built on Usman Ali Khan's Silver Jubilee, and Usmania University, even the High Court, which is now given as a gift to Andhra Pradesh. And now let's go to the next segment. But I want to tell you something. The segment's name, as you all know, is the castles. Now, I have to say one thing. The Nizams left us many reminders of them to the tourist of Hyderabad and its residents too. So let's know about their remains, but what category? Do you all know one thing? It's my saying that if you want to know about someone, visit his or her home. It is better to know what are their palaces they built. So, as you know, they have built the Chaumahala Palace, Falaknama Palace, King Koti Palace, and Purani Haveli, now serving as the Nizam's Museum. Nice, right? So, they say that Nizams had many scams after post-independence. Shouldn't we know about the scams the Nizams wanted to make? Yeah, it would be fun to know. So, let's jump on to the next segment, post-independence. And one thing, it is now the journey from 1947 to 2014. So be ready to uncover some unknown facts, even about a few 2-3 years ago, because I'm going to say something even about 2019. So their scams were they didn't want to join India but wanted to join Pakistan. They wanted to import artillery from Portugal by Goa and these kinds of stuff. At this time, a private army of a politician wreaked terror and were attacking Hyderabad. And the Indian army found this as an opportunity, and in a few days, Nizams left the country for good. Then Hyderabad was made part of Andhra till 2013, and in 2014, Hyderabad was in another state, Telangana. After a long time, Telangana state was wanted, and now Hyderabad has a high-tech city where people have businesses, and it's the most busiest place in Hyderabad. It was built by Chandrababu Naidu, one of the CMs of Hyderabad, to say former CMs. Now, I have completed this segment. Now, after a long journey, you should know some facts about Hyderabad. So let's end our journey through Hyderabad's history after the last segment. Did you ever know that? So, first thing I want to say, Hyderabad had Muslims as majority of population in the olden days, but now Hindus are all around. It's funny that some time ago someone else and now someone else. In the old city, if you ever find markings on the wall, remember that the markings are from the Musi floods. They were marked by people. Now, to say Hyderabad has its own river, Musi, which is a tributary of Krishna river. If you ever want to go to Musi river, you will find it opposite to Salarjung Museum. There were two sauropods, or to say two sauropod fossils, found in the village Kota of Telangana. Now, if you don't know, sauropods are these long herbivorous dinosaurs which roamed around the world. Now, both of the sauropods were sent to other cities, in which there were two of them, and one was Kotasaurus, named after the village it was found, and the other is Barappasaurus, named after Rabindranath Tagore. So, the Kotasaurus is now in Hyderabad Birla Museum, and Barappasaurus is in Kolkata. So, if you ever visit any of these two cities, never forget to visit these fossils, because you can only find them in two cities. And as a last leaving note, hope you find this informative and fun. Bye.
Tale of Three Cities: Hyderabad, Bengaluru and Visakhapatnam. While watching the videos about the three cities, we listened attentively in order to understand the context and the speaker's perspective. We surely were inquirers, and so we asked for clarifications. We listened actively and have respected the speaker. While listening, we also tried to recognize the cities' respective monuments. We shared our perspectives on the cities. We spoke and have expressed our ideas clearly and properly in our groups while reciting our understanding on the city.
We gave and received meaningful feedback on the city to understand our understanding in different views. We discussed and negotiated ideas and knowledge with peers and teachers. We have stated our opinion clearly without interrupting others. We not only watched those videos but have also read from a variety of resources to understand the context properly. We have drawn conclusions appropriately. We have read critically for comprehension. We observed carefully in order to understand the context. We discussed to generate new ideas and inquiries. We applied our existing knowledge and have discussed the cities before watching the videos and knowing about the 3 cities. We developed new skills, techniques for effective learning. We recorded our understanding to finally make our movie. We gathered the information from primary and secondary resources, in this case, books, videos, websites, etc. We sorted and categorized our findings. We evaluated and selected appropriate information sources and have properly arranged the information we got. We recorded our observations by making notes. We understood what the speaker is trying to say and have shared our perspectives on it. We listened closely to others' perspectives and the instructions. We respected the person speaking by not interrupting. We encouraged each other to contribute their level best for this movie to be a great success. We worked cooperatively and have worked on our works properly. We made sure everybody was clear with their parts for the movie. We developed all these skills while making this movie.